Hey everyone, welcome to another video. And if you are someone who A, doesn't warm up at all before they go running, or B, doesn't know how to warm up effectively before they go running, then this video is for you. I'm going to take you through a 10-minute warm up that you can use anywhere, whether you're outside in the middle of nowhere or at home or on the track or whatever. You can do this warm up and making sure you are being fully prepared for your run to make you run at your best and also reduce the risk of any injuries. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so as with a lot of my warm-ups, I use the RAMP protocol. So RAMP stands for raise, you then got activate, mobilize and potentiate. Okay, so we need to start on the R for the raise. That's just going to be a 2 to 3 minute jog. The pace should be conversational, so not too hard at all. We're just looking to get some blood moving to the joints and muscles before we move on to our dynamic movement phase of the warm-up. Okay, so once we've done our raise, we need to move on to activate and mobilize, which are usually grouped together. So the first thing we're going to do is what I call a complex. So we've just got 3 dynamic movements mixed into one here, just to create a nice, well-rounded, time-efficient little warm-up movement for us. So the first thing you're going to need to do is a knee hug. So you're just going to keep your standing leg as straight as you can. You're going to grab your knee, try not to lose balance like I just did. That's quite embarrassing. Now, if I were to let go of my knee, you see my foot doesn't drop down too much. You want it to stay as high as you can, even when you let go. So that's how you know you're engaging the hip flexors, because that's what we're trying to do here, okay? So let me do that again. Standing leg straight as I can, really hug my knee up, let go. I'm now bringing it into a lunge where I'm going to keep a nice upright torso, okay? Now, once I'm here, I'm going to use the standing leg again, straighten it out, try and get my body parallel to the floor, trying to keep it as straight as possible at all times, okay? That's 1 rep, you're going to do 5 each side. So if I were to do the other side as well, standing leg would now be the right. I'm going to grab my left knee, let go, lunge, upright torso, straighten this leg into the hamstring airplane, okay? Same principle goes with the knee hug and the hamstring airplane. You're just going to hold for 1 or 2 seconds before you then move on, okay? So I've just done 1 on each side, you'd do 5 and then move on to the next element. Okay, so the next thing we're going to focus on is a lateral lunge. Now, a lot of you would have seen or heard of a lateral lunge before. This is just a slightly different variation to the forward lunge we just did in the complex, just because I want to be making sure that we're leaving no stone unturned when it comes to preparing you for risk of injury, okay? So all I want you to do, again, I want you to keep a nice big chest for this, and then all I'm going to do, standing leg is going to try and get straight. So as you see, as I lunge, this standing leg, there's no bend at the knee, okay? It's nice and straight. I want you to go as deep as comfortable. Again, this is going to be 5 each side, okay? So don't go too deep to the point where it's really uncomfortable, but you should feel a little stretch, okay? Once you've done that, we can then move on to the next element. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is called a standing hip rotation. Now, why standing? Because if you're in the middle of nowhere, you'd probably not want to get on the floor, especially if you're running in winter and it can be muddy or whatever. Equally, if you're just in your road, your neighborhood, and there just could be concrete everywhere, again, you don't really want to get on the floor doing anything, okay? So this is something you're going to do standing. This is sort of my replacement for leg swings, because a lot of people say you should do 10 leg swings forwards, 10 to the side, 10 back, etc., etc. I've done so many leg swings in my life that I can't really stand them that much anymore, so I thought I'd give you something a little bit different, okay? So if you can find something to balance onto, then it might be a good idea, but you can do this without any balance if you need to. It's just a little bit harder. All I'm going to look to do is right arm balancing, left leg works. I'm bringing that knee up, trying to keep the standing leg straight as I can, and then bringing it out and round. And then I'm going to reverse the direction, okay, like so, and then just keep going in that format. You're going to do 5 of each direction of each leg. That's going to be 10 reps each leg, okay, and then we're going to move on to the next element of the warm-up, which is going to be a little bit more dynamic. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is Pogos. Now, if you've never done Pogos before, they're a surefire way of making you feel like a little bit of a twat, but don't worry, they're really effective, okay? Because what I'm looking to do here is to get your Achilles tendon and your calves firing. This is also going to add a strengthening mechanism to your Achilles as well. So long term, these are only going to be beneficial for you, and it's just going to get you nice and ready to work. I will say that you shouldn't really do these cold, so you should have done some of the other warm-up as well before we get into this, okay? Now, all I want you to do is contract the quads, so we want your legs as long as possible. Then all I'm going to look to do is essentially just bring my toes up and then attack the floor going down, okay? So I'm pulling them up towards the sky, then I'm attacking the floor, okay? This should look something like this. All you're gonna do, you're gonna do between 10 and 15 reps just once through, and then we're gonna move on to the next element of the workout. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is called power skips. Now these aren't like the skips you used to do as a kid in the playground. They're a little bit different, but either way, all I want you to do, you're gonna do 10 reps of these, it's gonna be 5 each side. All I want you to do, similar to our knee hugs, you're gonna have one leg up, opposite arm forwards. You're then gonna drive that leg down to the floor. Your foot's gonna touch the floor twice and then drive the other leg down, okay? So it's just skipping like that, slowing it down a little bit, but we're not gonna move too far, but we should be getting some nice powerful movements in. They should look like this. Okay, so once you've done that, all you need to do is just finish off the warm up. Now, what I want you to do here is do, I'd say, between a 3 and 5 minute run based on how much time you've got. This is going to reflect the pace that you're going to be doing in your workout, okay? So if I'm going for a long, slow run, you can probably just start the long, slow run and just take it easy for the first couple of minutes. If I'm running a 5K hard, I'm going to do 3 to 5 minutes at my 5K pace, and then I'm going to rest those last few minutes before I start my race or my warm up, okay? So whatever intensity your running is going to be, your last little bit of your warm up should reflect that. This is definitely part of the potentiation phase. Potentiation, all we're talking about here is the end of your warm up reflecting the workout that's to come, okay? It's the same thing as doing some warm up sets on your back squat. If my back squat working set would be 100 kilos, I'm probably going to warm all the way up until 85 kilos. So there's still a little bit of work in there. It's just not something that we're counting as part of the workout, okay? So there's your running warm up. If you have any questions, please shoot them down below. You seem to all be enjoying the running content, so I'm going to keep doing it unless you tell me otherwise. But obviously, I'm looking forward to see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great weekend.